What is going on, everybody? I just got back not too long ago from seeing The Batman, Matt Reeves, The Batman at that, and wow, what a movie that was. I went into the movie having low expectations. Not that I didn't think that Robert Pattinson could hold his own as Batman, but a lot of times when I go into these superhero movies, I don't really have high expectations. Batman is one of those characters that has been done very well by Christopher Nolan and really hasn't found his footing since those three movies came out. Of course, there was Ben Affleck, who did the Batflick films, Batman v Superman, of course, and then Justice League, which, his Batman wasn't horrible, but definitely not on par with Matt Reeves, the Batman, played by Robert Pattinson. I know a lot of people out there was trying to discredit Robert Pattinson because of him playing Edward Norton in Twilight, but here, I know Robert Pattinson's a great actor. He's done lots of other things. He's done other movies outside of Twilight, of course, but he did Tenet, which I've heard from people was kind of good, kind of bad. But I was very interested to see how he was going to portray not only Batman but Bruce Wayne. And guys, he does a fantastic job of playing both roles. And honestly, you might be wondering, well, why wouldn't he do as good of a job as one versus the other? Well, there's been people that think that Christian Bale did a great, Bruce Wayne, but he wasn't so much of a great, Batman. And my struggles with the Batman movies was Christian Bale's voice when he was Batman. He would always be like, "Where are they?" All this over the top stuff that's absolutely unnecessary. And that was one thing I was very interested to see here was how was Robert Pattinson going to sound as Batman. And I'll tell you guys something. That's not something you're going to have to worry about here because he doesn't do this really crazy over the top, voice where he feels like he has to be super intimidating. He does sound a little more rough, but not that insanely over the top voice that Christian Bale puts on, which I always thought was rather crazy and ridiculous. So let's get into the movie. It is a 3 hour long movie. But I will say this didn't feel like a 3 hour long movie. It felt more like a 2.5 hour long movie. Some people think the movie shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. I completely disagree because there were so many things to tell in this story. You had to build up, the Riddler's character, which they did a phenomenal job, and Paul Dano did a great, excellent job as playing the Riddler, and they definitely showed the Riddler's crazy, psychopathic side. Has a little bit of shades of the movie Seven, which I've never seen Seven, so sue me for that. I thought there was a little bit of a hint of the Zodiac Killer in there with some of the things. I'm not going to give away spoilers, but if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Riddler. They did a really great job telling Catwoman Selena Kyle's origin story and her backstory, if you will. And I thought that was very, very well done in this flick. As well as the sort of semi-romanticness between her and Bruce Wayne, Batman, of course. The movie as a whole was just excellent. You have Colin Farrell portraying Penguin, which he did a really great job. They didn't make these villains seem too over the top and cartoony. It wasn't like Danny DeVito's Penguin, though you didn't get a, when he would laugh, he was actually human. He had more so scars on his face than anything else, but Colin Farrell did a stand-up job as playing Penguin. Oswald Cobblepot. You had John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, and he does a fantastic job playing that character. Jeffrey Wright is Commissioner Gordon. If you don't know Jeffrey Wright, he is in this show called Westworld, which he did a really great job in the first couple seasons. He's been in a lot of other things too, like he was in Casino Royale, James Bond movie. He's been in actually almost all of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies, for those who might not know who he is. But he does a fantastic job as well as playing Commissioner Gordon. Some people say this movie was slow and too long and drawn out. I didn't feel that. I felt the movie had really great pacing from start to finish because there's a lot of story here to tell when it comes to the things that Batman has to solve that the Riddler presents him with. Lots of backstory, especially involving Thomas and Martha Wayne. They don't go into Batman's parents dying and they don't show all that so much, but there are some things there that they threw in that I really liked that they did with the Waynes. There's a scene between Riddler and the Batman, which I think is in like the third act of the movie, and it was kind of almost reminiscent of the Joker and Batman in The Dark Knight, where the two characters kind of play off each other in a very psychological way, and I love that scene. Probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. The cinematography in this film was just incredible. Matt Reeves does a fantastic job in this entire movie of making Gotham City look dark. The very opening part of the movie, which also I'm not going to spoil, but I will say does a fantastic job of showing you why Batman should be feared. Which, some of the other movies have done a good job of that, but I think this movie really nails the Batman lurking in the shadows aspect. And I really enjoyed that. You had Albert. I'm sorry, Albert. Why do I call him Albert? Alfred. In here as well. And he was played by Andy Serkis. And who don't know who Andy Serkis is, he's the voice of Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies. And he is an amazing actor if you've not seen anything else he's been in. But he does a really great job as playing Alfred here, too. And although you don't see him very much in the movie, you see him enough, which, progresses the story. But overall, I didn't feel like this was a 3-hour-long movie because it was so engaging. There is action here. You do get to see Batman kicking ass. So you won't be disappointed with the action, I don't think. I wasn't at all. But overall, I have to say, this is like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's not a perfect movie by any means, but man, it is absolutely the best Batman movie we've had since The Dark Knight, which I feel is one of the top 3 Batman movies of all time. I dare I say that Robert Pattinson may be now my new favorite Batman. Michael Keaton has always been my favorite Batman, but I think Robert Pattinson now has really done a great job of pulling off the character. He plays a pretty solemn Bruce Wayne. It's almost as if really Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman is his real self, as who he really is. And you see that here in this movie. But, God, there's just, there's so many scenes I can't talk about because of spoilers. But they do a really great job of showing in detail Gotham City. And you never really have realized how giant, how huge of a city Gotham City is until they give you this flick. I want to see this again. I will probably go and see it again. It's just that damn good of a movie. I hope that this is the start of a new Batman franchise because I would love Robert Pattinson to continue to play such an iconic character. He does a damn good job of it. He's a more younger Batman. They keep mentioning he's only been doing this now for a few years. You've got Jim Gordon, who isn't even really commissioner. He's not even the commissioner yet in this movie. Paul Dano, man. I got to talk about Paul Dano. He is an amazing actor. and he nails it for the Riddler. He really shows just how crazy Riddler is. And I mean, think about it. The only time we've ever really had Riddler in a Batman movie is, well, I mean, I guess if you want to count the 1970s Batman, but the only time we ever had it was in, I think it was was it Batman and Robin? No, Batman Forever, where we had Jim Carrey play as Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler, but they didn't portray him like that here. But man, there's definitely some riddles in this, and I liked how that was done. It's got a very psychological thriller aspect to it, and that's what I love. I'm a big fan already of those type of movies. I've not seen Seven, but I said this earlier, but it just kind of, I've seen some of Seven. I understand enough about what Seven is about that this just had that vibe to it, and I loved it. It's definitely a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed it. It was an epic movie. The Batmobile scene, the chase scene in there, oh man, was just so wonderfully done. I hope to see more. I hope this is not the last time that we see Robert Pattinson don the cowl and cape. I hope we even see Zoe Kravitz come back as Selena Kyle / Catwoman. She did a great job. We got some great origin story out of her. And I won't spoil how the movie ends, but we're going to have a new villain. I'll tell you that. Anyway, that's my review of The Batman. Go see it. Check it out. I highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments section. That's down here. Your thoughts on The Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman. And let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you didn't like it. Let me know your review. I do read them. So check below what you thought of Batman, The Batman. And let me know also in the comments below what movies you are looking forward to seeing next, if any. I know I want to see the Black Door or the Black Phone. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog 2 coming up soon. But let me know in the comment section below what movies you think I should go see and review them here on the domain. Until then, I'll see you guys.